Hello and welcome to another episode of the very special Rock Sound Awards podcast powered by EMP.co.uk. I'm Will Cross, junior editor at the magazine and the host of our regular weekly Friday podcast. Before we do anything else, just in case you don't know, head to awards.rocksound.tv right now to pick up our Rock Sound Awards bundles featuring all 10 of our Rock Sound Award winners on 10 limited edition individual special covers. Absolutely amazing. Also features exclusive interviews and photos, posters from their Rock Sound Awards cover shoot, a 2018 calendar, Rock Sound Awards sticker, top 50 releases of 2017. So much to get involved with. Awards.rocksound.tv. But today, oh man, our friends and yours, we adore this band. Another very special award. So this is the Power of Music Award. So we wanted to honour a band that has a particularly amazing and inspiring connection with its fans. And together they've created and done things that are absolutely amazing and super inspiring. That band are the Maine. We absolutely love them. We caught up with John O'Callaghan to chat everything about that, about setting up their own label, and then writing Lovely Little Lonely, which is an amazing eclectic album, and heading out on the road and just doing everything for their fans and doing it the right way. So here we go, our chat with the amazing John O'Callaghan of the Maine, our Rock Sound Power of Music Award winners. Here we go. Well, it's a very special interview. I'd like to present to you the Rock Sound Power of Music Award. So the Power of Music Award is based on bands doing amazing things alongside their fans and kind of joining together to create something really amazing. We feel that you guys really did that with Lovely Little Lonely. So how does it feel to have won the award?
Oh, man. I don't know. For me, awards are always... they're never something that you should think about unless it's directly impacting you as far as, being voted by the people that dig what you do. Or, so for me, it's really special because you guys are more so, acknowledging the people that make it all possible for us. And to me, that's more important than anything else is that... I guess throughout our music and throughout, being in the band, it's for me, music has always been there. It's always been some sort of constant, immovable force in my life, even before we started making music. And it's always been the thing that was there when my uncle died, and there when I graduated high school, and even when other people won't, and I think that for us, our music, we really just try to make it inclusive, and hopefully it's some sort of sign that you're not alone. So it is humbling to get the award, mostly because, like I said, it's acknowledging the group that's allowing us to do it still. So it's really special.
Oh man, that's so awesome. I mean, I guess to take the album then, so we get into that a little bit, and kind of like the process of how it came together and kind of what was the story of it essentially. So Lovely Little Lonely has been hugely successful, potentially your most successful and loved album to date. And the fan reaction has transformed with it into, complete devotion. The shows have been amazing. The reaction to the songs and the album has been absolutely overwhelming. And all of that's been a result of being totally DIY. You left the labels behind and you had your fan backing, like you said. Do you think it's a hugely important message that, what you've done with the band and fans coming together can create something amazing and kind of counteract everything else like the labels and all that stuff?
I think subconsciously, even for us, it's a learning experience in that I think it's I don't know, there's a couple things. I don't think you should ever do anything for the sake of monetary value. Like, you should never put a price tag on your passion. And I think that fortunately we got to see through a lot of our bullshit phase, you know, where either we were being bullshitted or we were bullshitting people. And, you know, that comes with the territory when you're younger. And I think that, you know, I don't know. I think that it really, it's kind of like one of those, I guess you don't really have perspective until you're on the other side of it kind of things. And for us, it's, you know, it's empowering because, to see the reaction and to feel it the way we have, not only on this record, but on the past couple, it's been, you know, it's really kind of breathing, new life into old lungs, kind of each go around. So I think, if there's redeeming qualities about what we've been able to do, I think it's never being apologetic for just going out and trying. You know, I think that, like, right now, especially, people are so quick to judgment and, you know, and so quick to scrutinize. And I think that some of the people that we're judging and putting under the microscope are people that are actually trying, you know, in the land of famous people being famous for being famous. It's like, you know, if somebody's going out to make music or make, you know, take pictures or, you know, create paintings, whether or not you know, you dig it, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, it's like you're, you know, clicking double clicks on your Instagram or whatever. It's like, I think that it's important for people to try and to fail, and you know, for the small success that we're experiencing right now, we've had plenty of failures along the way too. So, I think just trying, man. It's important. It's important because if you stop trying, you're going to turn into a bunch of fucking thumbs, and we're all going to just be thumbs clicking buttons and fucking liking and disliking things and commenting and stuff. So, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I mean, did it feel especially gratifying as well, that success? Because obviously after having a difficult relationship with labels and also it being a huge risk to kind of leave that behind and do it, you know, set out on your own, did it feel very gratifying that has paid off?
You know, it's never felt like look, we told you so, because it was never about that. It was always about creative freedom. You know, and so once we were kind of liberated from underneath the palm, I think it was just more so an inward focus of what we were doing. And now I think more than ever we're trying to embrace, you know, the 8123 culture and really raising that higher than everything else. Because they are our record label now, you know? So it's one of those, I don't know. You don't, I guess for us, we were promised and told that we were going to have the world, you know? And when you're young, you think, wow, you know, you're going to be on the radio and you're going to be massive and all this stuff. And I think for us, seeing it through, what we've got going right now is far more precious than you know, flash in the pan success. So it's never been in spite. I mean, maybe for the first week of trying to get off the label, it was in spite, and Pioneer was maybe in spite, but it really just derives from being that necessity to be able to create whatever you want, you know?
Yeah, definitely. So did a lot of the troubles come from you being creatively limited then, and that people weren't letting you do what you wanted to do musically and you know, and creatively?
Yeah, man, it was just everything. And I just think that we figured out that being on a record label in the traditional sense wasn't for us, and it maybe never was. We learned a ton, and we have a lot of people that we still credit a lot too. People over at Fearless Records, and that was huge for us when we were starting out. And, but I think that we just realized early that we don't want to be told what pictures we have to take and what we have to dress up like in them. And I think that we've done a great job of making ourselves look terrible. Like we don't need somebody to tell us like you have to keep your hair long and you have to, you know what I mean? So it's like, I think it was just everything. It was all encompassing. And I don't know where it goes from here, but I know it's about innovation, and it's about sidestepping kind of that carpool lane that everybody seems to be in, where it's just like kind of just autopilot at this point for a lot of people, and we're heavily focused on heading the opposite direction, or even just sidestepping all complete. I think that that's something that we've learned, is that in everything, when people start to follow the trends, it's rather easy to just do something slightly different and be revered as like groundbreaking, like innovators. It's pretty crazy to me. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, because did that give you guys a real kind of second lease of life in a way? Because I remember last time we spoke, you said that Love a Little Lonely and American Candy kind of almost felt like a new start for the band. Was it in a creative sense? Was it like, were you having fun again? Because you were saying you were pulling from so many different eras of music that you love. Was it a real way to kind of fall in love with music again?
Yeah, I think especially when we recorded with Brendan Benson on Forever Halloween, just to be around somebody with a vast knowledge of music and just an appreciation for it in general, like he had, was so inspiring. And just to be in the same room with somebody that loves like deeper cuts of Bowie than you'd ever heard, and you're like, wait, I thought I had an appreciation for it. It's like, yeah, it's just, I think that music certainly, just was kind of thrown back into the light for us. And I don't necessarily think it was like on the back burner ever, but I think that once we realized that, hey, we're a band and we can hang with, people that play with some of the best players in the world, then I think that like gave us a confidence boost as well. And yeah, it's been, it's felt nice for the past, 5-6 years. So.
Amazing, yeah. Because did that really affect how you wrote "Love a Little Lonely" as well? That work, doing all that work with Brendan, and the fact that, like I say, you're pulling from so many different eras in such a kind of unique sound, and then the album, kind of when it was finished, it feels such a kind of hugely cohesive, kind of all killer no filler album. And we touched on that last time as well. Did it have a real direct effect on creativity then, that you felt like you could literally do anything and explore all these different sides to your band?
Yeah, I mean, I think what it actually did was helped me focus a little bit more as far as the sound. And not saying that we didn't take chances and didn't get a bit risky with this record, but I feel like it was far more reserved than some of our leaps from record to record had been in the past. And not only did working with Brennan and that, not only did that kind of shape it, but I think that it also, just the feeling that we got from American Candy helped shape it, and the people that were coming out and digging what we were doing shaped it. And I think that was like something that I certainly wanted to kind of compound, off of and kind of keep that feeling going. So yeah, I think it was like a combination of the support that we had been shown and just the people we'd met along the way.
Amazing. Yeah, because that's really shown as well, as I mentioned earlier in the chat, at your shows, especially this year. I mean, like Coco in London was absolutely insane. Have you really felt that connection with your fans, and especially since the album's been out and people have been able to absorb it and really connect with the songs? Has that been really tangible?
For me, it's always, the road is always the most tangible. So I've certainly felt this kinetic energy from like this, just the release. I would say, and I can pinpoint it. We did a college show on American Candy in Florida, and we played with, I think it was with Mayday Parade. It was like a Warped Tour pre-show. So like Warped Tour was doing a couple college gigs, and Kevin Lyman was like speaking at some of them, and he invited us to play. And I just remember being on stage and that being kind of the moment for me that was like, I don't know, just kind of awakening. And from then on, especially that Warped Tour that we did on American Candy, it was kind of just like this, I don't know, just talking to people and seeing crowds and feeling their energy just has kind of, it hasn't let up, which is really, that's tangible to me. That's, seeing the tattoos, seeing the posters created, just feeling the energy and talking to people after the shows. That's the real stuff. And that's been, I think, far more buzzy than it's ever been in our career. So, or maybe it's similar to kind of how we started out. But it just seems more authentic now for some reason. And it's probably because we're, 10 years older, but it's a really nice feeling.
So in that sense then, in terms of it almost feeling a little bit like the very early days of the band, is it that there's just that excitement's there, and like you say, but then with that experience you've had, and is that, I guess that must have led to a very proud feeling, and that, this is essentially what you've built and you're here with your fans, and it's a real community almost.
Yeah, man. I think that when we started out, it was, we were 18, and our fans were, some of them 14, 13, like little young beginning to be teenagers. And some of those people from 10 years ago have stuck around 10 years, and it's been insane to kind of grow up with them. And I don't know, not that I'm not saying that it means more now, but I think that for me personally, I certainly believe us more now. And I know that sounds weird, but it's such an odd age to be at, 18, and be writing songs as if you know anything. You know what I mean? Like that's bullshit. Like, and ain't no 18-year-old knows. And it's like, even what's his name from Daniel Johns from Silverchair, like writing a fucking album at 15. Are you kidding me?
Insane.
Like, what can you really be saying? Like, like you can't even drive legally. It's like, I don't know. I mean, that speaks to their genius, obviously, like Lord and writing it at 17 or what she did. It's like, but there's also a level of that. Like, how am I supposed to believe this as a listener, and again, fortunately we got through all that, and people allowed us to get through it, and hopefully got through their own shit along the way. And not to say by any means that we know anything now, because I'm even probably more a proponent of the idea that I know less than I did now than I did back then, because I think I was probably just so arrogant at 18 that I thought I knew, and maybe that's, that arrogant naivety is probably a better place to live in than fucking the depressing head I have on my shoulders now. But I think that, yeah, I don't know. It's psycho that we got to do it this long, and now we're more, the itch is itchier than ever to fucking make this thing last for as long as it can, and really try to be something different in a fucking sea of all the same,
Yeah, for sure, man. As I say, I mean, I can't agree more. And I mean, with that in mind, going forward, and especially into 2018, and everything that's happened this year, it sounds like then. I mean, I think last time we spoke, you said you were already putting ideas down for new music and things like that. Like you say, the itch is itchier than ever. Like, is this very much just the spark there to just do as much as possible as you can with the Maine?
Yeah, man. I mean, you should see my room right now. There's shit everywhere. There's Fender Rhodes just sitting right in my... I mean, yeah, there's stuff everywhere. I got to clean up today. But, yeah, December 1st, we're getting a studio for a year. And that'll really be like, any downtime that we have, it'll be going to a studio and throwing it all on a wall and seeing what sticks. So, I mean... it's crazy. Yeah. It's like, I think it's a bit intimidating in that, here's all the opportunity in the world. And like, you've always said you wanted a studio. Now here it is. And what are you going to do? So that is a little scary in my head, but, yeah, I don't know. This is, we're a band. And we make music, and that's what you're supposed to do. If you like it, if you like it and it's still what you dig, then I don't know, just dig it.
Oh man, that's so exciting. I mean, as well, with all that in mind as well, do you hope that bands might look at a situation like you guys have had, and the fact that you can go through difficult times but come out the other side and also, become bigger and not only just survive but do even better and fall more in love with your band than you were before? Do you hope other bands maybe take some inspiration from that?
No, because there'll be less bands. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like we're trying to be ambassadors of anything. I think that we're just trying to do what we're doing. And if that accidentally inspires along the way, then that's awesome. But I really want to stress that it's not the same for everyone. It's all relative. So just because we trash record labels doesn't mean that record labels aren't a good idea for any band, and, because it absolutely can be a catalyst, and I think that you have to figure a lot of it out on your own. But I think just knowing that you don't always have to say yes to everything, is really important to hear early. And I think people appreciate authenticity, and even subconsciously yourself does. So you can look in the mirror and know that you're not being real. And I think that that's very important to be from the early jump. So, yeah, I don't know. We're certainly not like ambassadors of the DIY method, and it's just it's all relative. So.
Yeah, so it comes down to context across the board, really. Then that, like you say, some things can work, for certain bands at certain points, and some things don't, and you just have to, I guess, trust what's right for you then personally.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's imperative to kind of follow your intuition and do what feels right, and if that's whatever that may be.
Amazing, yeah, because as well, like with all that's happened and kind of having that really positive outlook and the creative freedom that you've got now as well, did it essentially kind of, I wouldn't want to say like save the band or anything, but just did it really, because you said, so you've got this real fire in the belly again. Was that directly from that? Did it really bring back that fire and, that want to push forward and do so much because of what's happened this year? I mean, is it all from essentially all the positive things that have happened?
I think there are a few things. I think realizing, one, how fragile life is, I think is definitely empowering. And then subsequently, I think realizing how fragile being able to do what we do within that life is even more delicate. So I think that's just the fire we feel necessary to kind of keep the ball rolling. I don't know. Yeah, it's easier to obviously say, we're excited when things are going well, And again, it's not like things always have gone well, and there are times that we've felt like, should we even do this anymore, And those are the moments, we're probably only a few decisions, or we were at some point a few decisions away from not being a band anymore. And I think that's like, it's just a testament of being on the same page and believing in something collectively. The six of us with our manager and I don't know. Because it certainly is. It's easy to say, things are good when everything's comfortable and you're excited, and it's harder to say it after we made Forever Halloween and not as many people gave a shit, and we felt like we did something special, and then we had ourselves questioning, like, oh, did we make the right decision in recording together and to tape? And, again, we're just fortunate that we're on this side of it now. But it was really, it was constructive at the time. And I think that, I think those are the moments that probably mattered more than just saying right now we're hungry, and those are the ones that we can pull from and say, like, look, we took a chance and we took a risk, and it might not have immediately paid off, but we got to see it through.
So that was our chat with the brilliant John O'Callaghan of the Maine, our Power of Music Rock Sound Award winners, powered by EMP.co.uk. Had such a good time chatting to John. So inspiring, really brilliant stuff. So don't forget, awards.rocksound.tv. Head over there right now to order your Rock Sound Awards bundle. So much going on. 10 limited edition individual special covers. All these bands are on there. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Awards.rocksound.tv right now. Pick them all up. Once they're gone, they're gone. Get involved. And check back here tomorrow for our very final Rock Sound Awards winner chat. It's going to be good. See you then.